Hey guys, welcome back. Come on in, make yourself at home, as you should when you're a guest in Bradley's house. I am your co-host, Jarett Orr. She is the executive director of the Knoll Family Foundation, and our hostess with the mostest, Ms. Kellie Knoll. Kellie, how you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks, Jarrett. That was kind of a dad joke there, the whole hostess with the mostest. But I like it. It was good.
I tell dad jokes. I
You
specialize
do.
in
That is
them.
your specialty.
It's
True.
kind of how I make it.
It's true.
Well, Kellie, I am super excited. Once again, we get to have another great guest. It almost is like I I say all the time that I'm jealous of myself, but I really am. We get to hang out and have these conversations with these awesome musicians. Kellie, who's today's house guest?
I am super stoked about today's guest. We have someone who's from a band that I saw about, I think it's been almost 10 years now, and I discovered them by accident when I went to a show and they were playing, and I just stood there like, how have I not heard them before? And I absolutely fell in love, and I've been a fan ever since. Today we have with us all the way from Florida, Dom Maresco from the Supervillains. Dom, thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, my pleasure, you guys, man. Thank you for all the kind words. I love this. This is great. Woo,
Absolutely. Yeah. No, I
man.
remember the very first time I ever saw you guys, and it was at the Slide Bar in Fullerton here in Southern California. And my jaw dropped. I'm like, holy shit, they are so good. I love the energy and the sound and just the whole vibe of everything you guys do.
Well, that's awesome. We always have a great time in Southern California. Especially, we always have good shows at the Slide Bar because it's really intimate. So I think
Yeah.
we come across really well. That's kind of what we go for, is that intimate, bumping into each other, dancing around, having a good time kind of feel. So
Yeah. I love that
awesome.
venue. I do wish they had a little bit more air conditioning, but I do love the venue.
It,
I think that's my
it, I Is it
always.
warm there for you guys? I've been reading all about it. You guys been having a rough
Yeah.
time with the heat,
We
yeah?
yeah, we've been having some high temperatures. It's not my favorite time of year, that's for sure, but
And
you
it's
know,
like a
what are you gonna
normal
do?
summer day in Florida. It's so hot here all the
Is
time.
it?
It's so
But you guys
gross.
have that humidity that's so painful, right?
Yeah, but we're never too far away from a body of water, so you can always hop in somewhere, go swimming
Makes it
somewhere, cool
tolerable,
off.
huh?
Absolutely.
Nice.
So
What part of
yeah.
Florida are you in? Are you near Orlando?
I am directly in downtown Orlando. I was gonna say you could probably hear
Ah,
that the helicopters because there's a protest going on down like 2 blocks away. So
really? What
you
are they
can they're in
protesting?
and out. I believe they're protesting for down in Cuba. They're having some issues, and people are protesting for better treatment and better.
Oh,
I don't want to go too far because I'm not 100% sure on what, but I'm fairly certain it's for
something
the.
about Cuba.
Yeah, absolutely. So for sure.
Nice. Right on. So I have to ask, where did the name the Supervillains come from? Who came up with that?
It's the damnedest thing. People ask us that all the time, and we just don't even really remember. It really is. It's like
You need to make
we
up a really good
Yeah,
story then.
don't ever let the truth get in the way of a good story, man. Come up with something and go with it.
something. I feel like we're terrible for that, but we just don't have the how terrible is it that the supervillains don't have an origin story? Huh? How dumb is
Right.
that?
Right. You do need an
So
origin story.
Well, we were
so
hanging out with
yeah,
Joker and Penguin one day, and
yeah,
Right.
seriously. And that's the thing too, because none of us really were like comic book people. We weren't like like Batman, all right, whatever. Like I don't know how. I really don't know how it came out, but it just did, and it stuck.
Hmm.
And
maybe
Well,
there
it's
was
a
and
good
another
one.
local band called the Villains, and you were like, you know what?
We're better
We're
than them.
we're better than that. We're the fucking super villains. How about that?
yeah, we turned it up to a couple notches. Yeah, no, it wasn't anything like that. If anything, I wish it was just the villains, because the super villains, I don't, what are you gonna do? It's maybe 25 years ago, maybe I go back and change it, but we don't really have a. Scart could maybe remember, but me, I just there's certain things in life I like to remember, and that is not one of them for some reason. Yeah.
You got to pick and
Super
choose.
Super's a pretty strong word, man. I think you're gonna want to hang on to that one. It's that
Yeah, it's a good one.
it works for me.
Yeah, okay, I guess
It's a
so.
good one.
Yeah.
Are you originally from the Orlando area?
Yeah, I was actually born about 3 miles, not even 2 miles from where I'm standing right now.
Whoa.
And then I grew up in St. Cloud, which is about 30 minutes south of here. So when I was born, my parents, I believe, were living up here in Orlando, and then very shortly after I was born, they bought a house a little south of here, and I lived there for 18 years, and then I moved right back, right here
Wow.
in downtown Orlando. I lived here for quite some time.
Well,
Quite.
you've traveled quite a bit with the music and all that, and you still choose to live there. That must say something about it.
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of family here too. You know, my mom and dad are here, and you know, my grandparents are here, and my sister and my brother aren't too far away. They're, you know, within driving distance. So
Well, that's
I
nice.
mean, you
Are
know,
your
plus,
brother
like
and
I said
sister,
before,
are they
sorry, go
older,
ahead.
younger? Where do they fit in?
I am a middle child, so
Okay,
I have
one of each.
a younger sister and an older brother, and that's probably why I'm so nuts.
Nice. Do you also have a bird? What am I hearing squeaking?
It's just Florida, baby. There's birds everywhere. There's birds,
Is
alligators,
that
lizards trying to. Yeah,
is that really
yeah.
just birds flying around?
That is super just birds like right above my head. Yeah,
Wow.
for sure. Yeah,
Wow.
there's a
It's
lot
like
of
you live in
wildlife
an
around here.
aviary.
Yeah, it is
Nice.
super. And like, you know, 8 o'clock in the morning, you're like, bro, shut up. You know,
Oh,
they
not
go,
cool.
they go.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a little painful. They're super loud. I'm not gonna lie. Wow. So tell me, when did you start playing drums?
I believe around 11, and
Wow, that's young.
so since I'm 22 now, you know, about 11 years.
Since you're
I, w-
22.
thanks. I was gonna say,
Sorry.
come on, man. I guess this isn't video, so you can't see
I
how
did the
grotesquely old I am. My
I did
bad.
the quick
Sorry.
math, and if I've been listening to you guys for 10 years, there's no way.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's not a thing.
Nice
Uh,
try.
I I'm a little older than that, but yeah, I've
Yeah,
been playing
not
drums
much.
for a good bit since I was 11. And then
Hmm.
I really started with the piano because my grandma forced me to learn it. My Mima forced me to
Mm,
learn piano, and
Mima.
she told me that if I didn't learn how to play piano, it would be the biggest mistake I ever made. I would kick myself in the butt. Is what she said. And
Wow. Was she
she was
right?
a very stern woman. She was very, very right. She was absolutely right. She was yeah. It was one of the biggest things I ever really got from, you know, being around my grandmother so much because we were around my grandparents a lot when I was young.
Oh,
So
that's
she
nice.
taught me a lot about piano. She was a great singer. She was a great
Mm,
piano player, and she taught me how to read music and how to write music and how to play music.
wow.
And so, yeah, I give a lot of credit to my Mima.
That's
Absolutely.
awesome. I mean, with the piano, it's so versatile because it translates into, an better understanding of so many different instruments and music in general.
Yeah, it's really hard. You look like a caveman when you're telling somebody in your band to play this note. You go, no, go, ooh, that note, you idiot. Why are you looking at me like that? It's this note. So, yeah,
That's
if you
much
have a
more
piano, you
entertaining,
could
though.
just press the piano keys a lot better than
Yeah, that's super
screaming a note.
helpful. Yeah, my mom is a piano teacher, and her mom before her was also a piano teacher. So I took piano lessons from my nana, and she was horrible to take lessons from. She was so nice to her other students, but to me and Brad, she would scream and yell. She did not make it pleasant. Let me just say that. So we stopped lessons at a pretty early age. But mom was always around. So if we were playing on the piano at home and hit a wrong note, she has perfect pitch. So from the other room, she would be like, "That should be a G" or something. It's crazy. Always tripped me out. But it's a good foundation to have for sure.
Yeah, Mima was very stern as well. I think that comes with the grandma and mom teaching piano to
Maybe,
their
yeah.
family member. I think that's kind of part of you really have to be good. You really have to focus. It's
There's
really crazy. I
pressure.
still have my piano workbooks and stuff, and
You do?
from like a long time ago with like
That's
my name
awesome.
written to where it looks like, you know, I was doing it in crayon pretty much. You know what I mean?
Oh, that's
But it
awesome.
still has all my grandmother's like handwriting. She had the best cursive handwriting for some reason.
Mm.
Like literally, like she like wrote like so perfectly. I don't know how she ever did it, but I will
And
most
that's
certainly hang on to those as long as I live, because
That's
those are
cool.
pretty solid memories. You know?
Must be nice. Your grandma taught you how to become this awesome musician, and you never had to have a real job again. And my grandma used to just carry like fucking Sweet and Low packets in her purse. That's what I. That's like what
That's my
her
other
claim to
grandma.
fame was.
Yeah.
That's
You got
my
one of
other
those.
grandma. Yeah, that's my Italian grandma. She's about 2.5 foot tall,
Oh,
and my grandfather's way taller. He's like 2'8". You know what I mean? So I'm like it's crazy.
Matching
My dad's side of the
mustaches.
family. Oh man, I'm telling you, like legit paisans. Like they are Italian people. Like no
wow.
joke. They're great
Awesome.
people. They whenever I walk around, I feel like Godzilla walking around over their house. It's crazy
Oh, gosh.
because I'm
But
six
you're
one,
always
you
fed
know.
well.
So
I bet you never leave hungry.
oh man, that's the best part. It's the best part. I still my aunties still send me jars of sauce, you know, across the way. They'll stop by and drop off
No.
big fat jars of red sauce. Yeah, because
Oh, that's
I don't know
darling.
what it is, man. I got the recipe. I still can't make that shit taste like that,
What?
man.
I don't
I
think
don't
you
know
can
how.
truly be Italian if you're not making good pasta sauce.
I'm just saying, like, theirs is at such a level that I just cannot get to. It's like meemaw
Ah.
sweet tea. Can't make meemaw sweet tea. I can't make it that good. I don't know why. I don't know how. But meemaw,
You know,
maybe it's the water. I don't know.
Maybe
it's.
the
I'll tell
water.
you, it's the strangest thing. Like when I'm from an Irish family, so growing up, we had spaghetti for dinner. Like, oh, what's for dinner tonight? Oh, we're having spaghetti. Okay, great. But all my Italian friends, they had sauce for dinner, and then whatever the fucking noodle was whatever it was. But they'd be like, "You want to eat over tonight? What are you having? Sauce." The fuck you talking about
What?
sauce? That's not dinner. But yeah, that was the meal, and then the noodle was just the bullshit that went on top of it. It didn't matter.
Oh, you get like the meatballs that are stuffed with cheese, and oh man, oh don't get me started.
It's dinner
Yeah, and
time for you, isn't it?
grandma's sauce always had some kind of meat in it. Like I don't know what kind of meat. I'm guessing it was beef, but man, if you got like a chunk of that meat in your sauce, you were like, oh,
Score.
yeah, serious, serious.
That's awesome. Very cool. I have a question. I've wondered this for a long time. You guys do a lot of covers, which I
Yeah.
love. I always think I like hearing bands reinterpret songs. Who's driving that boat? Like whose idea is it to do the different covers?
Listen, ain't nobody over here driving no boat. Let me tell you what, it's the steering wheel broke off a long time ago. Nobody drives boats around here. Actually, we all drive boats, but that's a different story.
What's
When
totally
it comes
right?
when it comes to cover tunes, I think when the first ones really started happening, I feel like it was just like stuff like our parents listened to, that whatever we
Yeah.
listened to and made us happy, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So like the Billy Joel tune was probably the first one we really put our minds to
That's a
and
great
really
one.
tried to do. And
That's
I
moving
like,
out,
man,
right?
that song. Yes, man, that song reminds me of my mom driving us to school with a coffee mug all the way to the brim. You know what I mean? Like the coffee was all the
Yes.
way to the brim, and she's driving with one hand, screaming at all of us. You know, there's music in the background. You know, we're just going to school, and she never spilled that coffee. That's what that song reminds me of right there.
Oh,
She never
she's a
spilled the
hero.
coffee. It was to the brim, like the little bubble. You know, like, it's right there. She never spilled that coffee. Got us to school every time, and she drank that whole cup. Never spilled a drip.
That's awesome. You guys
But and then
also cover. Go
as
ahead.
we further went on, I feel like yeah, just songs we really liked and songs we had come together and made up our
Hmm.
minds on. We actually been working on like 5 or 6 just because we were sitting here doing nothing from the pandemic. So we've
Yeah.
got a good bit. We I don't even know. We're just silly over here. We're like you don't even want to know. It's crazy.
We kind
We've
of do
hit
want
rock
to
bottom
know.
over here.
Yeah, we want to know.
Yeah, we definitely want to know. What have you guys been working on?
We're legit working on a cover of a Weird Al song because we were just
That's crazy.
I told you we have no steering wheel. We just are
Can
I
doing
you
know.
tell
I
us which
believe
one?
you.
yeah, I guess. I reckon. Why not? It's we're doing I Lost on Jeopardy because
Oh my
just because
gosh.
we're stupid, I guess. I don't know. We do too many dabs. I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah,
Oh no.
Someone thought it
That's
was a funny idea. You know how it is when you're like, haha, that would be funny. And then you laugh it off because it's stupid later. We just didn't get to the man, it's so stupid kind of part there. So
good. I think that people expect that of you guys. I mean, you definitely, you have that sort of good time vibe, and you don't take yourselves too seriously. And I think that's one of the things that your fans love about you guys, really.
yeah, we like to mix it up. I don't know. It's really crazy with just how I feel like a lot of bands have a certain, start to finish on each record kind of sounds the same, and we just don't like to do that. We just like to mix it up. Plus, I think we're all short attention span people. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was like,
I
oh,
get
this
that.
is going too slow, man. I need to do something. Let's move it along. You know what I mean? So,
Shake things
it's,
up a little.
plus we don't know where the line is either on this stuff. We just do it. Yeah.
That's good. There's a honesty about that, a genuineness I think people appreciate.
Yeah, so we've been working on those cover things, and then at the same time we've been working on this other EP where it's 25 minutes long. And it just goes. I mean, you'll definitely notice the different tracks as you go, but from start to finish, it's meant to be played all together. So
Nice.
that
When's that
too is
coming out?
wild. That we're done. So really, it really could be out within the next 2 or 3 months, I would imagine.
Wonderful. That's exciting.
Like it is done. It's ready to go and get some records made and some CDs made, and it's ready to go. So
Nice. I love that you guys covered Careless Whisper. I'm a huge Wham fan. I remember where I was when I heard Wham broke up. It was a very devastating day in my life. Hush, no one's talking to you right now, Jarrett. So I think you guys did a great job covering that. I really do.
I think that's just another example of us being like, haha, wouldn't it be funny if? And before you know it, we're like, done. Thanks. The producer's like high fiving us, and we're already out of the door. So, because
Yeah,
I
that
think
was
in hindsight, like really, if we probably thought about it for another 2 days, we probably would have done it. But
well,
we
I'm
went
glad you
through with
didn't
it.
think about it then,
Okay.
because it made me very happy. And it gave me an opportunity to give my kids a little music lesson too, which I do a lot. Every time I hear something that is a cover or it sounds like something or is influenced by something, I would sit them down and play all the old stuff for them. So it gave me a chance to introduce them to Wham. Not that they're big Wham fans, but they are big Supervillains fans. So I
Oh
must have
no.
done something right.
I feel like your favorite songs too. Sometimes you always like, man, this is my favorite song, and then you find out like years later, like, oh, it's a cover song from
Yeah,
19 whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I dig that. I dig that about how music can be. You know.
totally. And you guys covered What Happened for the house that Bradley built.
Man, I gotta tell you this, man. We have so much fun playing that song live.
So good.
Legit. I wish we would have had another couple of days before we recorded it because we've added in some silly
Really?
violent
Oh
femmes
my
actor right
gosh.
at
Oh,
the
I just
end.
listened to them this morning. That's
So
crazy.
I'll have to get like a good live video for you guys or whatever and
Oh,
send it over
I'd
to you.
love
But yeah,
that.
we mix in a little violent femmes at the end because we're big fans of the violent femmes as well. So.
Which violent femme song do you mix in at the end?
So basically, what happens is we go da 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 da
Mm-hmm.
da da, and then what happened, and then from right there we start. When I got walking out, stop stuff,
Oh
and I
no,
take
that's
care of it.
great.
Yeah,
Shut
so
up.
we
That's awesome.
we roll through a little bit of that, and we've added that to it. So, but yeah, man, when we play that song live, it is a blast. And I
It
believe
really
actually we did. Um, Yeah, you know what? We did that for Sugar Shack, so I bet you will see an acoustic version of that at least.
nice. Oh,
So yeah.
awesome. And I love how you guys gave it your own twist by having that drinking tonight at the beginning. It's so
Oh,
perfect.
you
It's just the
had
perfect
to,
song for you guys. Yeah, it's just perfect. You did a great job.
because that's kind of the point of the song, right? You wake up in the morning and you're like,
Yes.
what? Well, I
It
mean, maybe
was
you did 5 or 10 years
perfect.
ago. I don't know about it anymore. I don't.
It
I'm a big,
happens.
I'm a big square now. If I wake up and say what happened, I'm like, oh, I shouldn't have eaten that cheesecake or whatever last night.
Yeah, we're all getting older. It happens. It happens to the best of us. Well, we really appreciate you guys doing that song, definitely, and
No,
being a part of
absolutely.
the
I
album.
appreciate, like, like I always tell you, I appreciate the opportunity. We always like being included, with
Yeah,
all you
it's
guys.
fun.
We're so far away from you over here on the East Coast, but we like being close. So,
Yeah, it's like a world away, but hopefully we'll be able to do some kind of a No Family Foundation event over on the East Coast soon. We've been getting lots of requests for that over the years, and hopefully one of these days we can make that happen. It'd be a lot of fun.
yeah, absolutely. We'd love to have you over here. It is, yeah, just, pack a swimsuit because it's freaking hot.
Yeah, will not be coming in the summer. I went to
Yeah.
Orlando one year. It was a long time ago, probably, I don't know, 15, 20 years ago. But it was May. I just remember it was the month of May. And as soon as you walk outside, you're just drenched. It was just so humid,
It
really
is
hard to get
pretty
used to.
brutal. Like, when you get in your car for the first time for the day, and yeah, man, it's
Toasty,
pretty brutal.
huh?
But we're all nice and tan, we're all good and tan.
Yeah.
And it could be worse. You could be living in Buffalo.
I
Is it hot
think
up
you
there
guys
today,
don't
Jarett?
understand. You don't understand what it's like for the cold that we have here during the
No,
wintertime.
no,
And
I
Oh, I
it's
don't.
do. I've seen
the
it.
ex-
I've seen it.
I see,
Oh,
yeah, you've seen it. That's it. But like when you walk outside and like the inside of your nose and eyes freeze, like that's a thing. Like I mean, we literally we used to take, like, you'd get these really big cold spells here. We would take pots of boiling water and you take it outside and it would be boiling, scalding water, and you would throw it up in the air and it would turn to snow and fly away before it hit the ground.
No, that's pretty
Yes, yeah.
cool. That's really
Yeah,
cool.
it's so, like, when everybody talks about their great weather, it's because we get like a couple weeks of summer and then it's like right back into winter for us.
Mm,
But we don't get hurricanes.
that's nice.
yeah, but
You
if you
know,
live in Central Florida, you don't have to worry so much about the hurricanes. It just gives you a good reason to party and hunker down. You know what I mean? Hunkering
I
is
guess
the
that's
best.
Big fan of hunkering. Well, Jarrett, I totally know what you mean about the cold weather because sometimes in the winter it gets down like into the 50s here, and that's super chilly. So,
Well,
you know
to
what.
be
Fuck
honest with
this.
you,
I don't.
Southern California is too cold for me. To be honest with you, I mean, last time I
what?
was there, every time I go to San Diego, it's like 60 degrees. What's going on with that? I think
Well,
the
San Diego's
thermostat's broke.
always cooler. Yeah, San Diego's always cooler
Yeah,
than like LA and Orange County, but
it
I
is too
like that
cold for
about
me.
it.
I like this hot. I do. To be honest with you,
You
I
do.
joke about it, but I really do like the hot. I don't know why. Because I got a good air conditioner, I reckon. Maybe that's why.
That's probably why, yeah. And you're near water. That helps, I'm sure.
Yeah, like I was saying before about the boat, we all of the boys have boats, so we have, like, the supervillains have an unofficial navy. We just cruise around and
That's so
fish all day and
cool.
go swim. And we've been last week we
Nice.
went for our annual scallop retreat where we go to the west coast of Florida and we go scalloping for the week, and it was a blast.
Go
A blast.
scalloping. What does that entail? I'm not even clear on where
So
scallops come from.
basically, yeah, basically you hop on a
They're a
boat and
mollusk.
you cruise. I think so. They're bivalves. They're bivalves, whatever that means. So, anyways,
I'll take
yeah,
your word for
you,
it.
you do like 7 miles out straight from the Gulf. You just go straight out, and then you hop in the water with the snorkel, and you swim, and you just dive down when you see them, and you grab them. It's pretty
What do they
crazy.
look
It's
like
fun.
in the wild?
They're just like little shells. They look like little cool seashells, and
Kind
they're
of like a
they
clam?
got, yeah, they got little eyes in between the two shells. Yeah, they look kind of like clams, but they're opened up, and then you can see their eyes, and they're in
They have
about six.
eyes?
Yeah, they have a bunch of little eyes. They're a
Wait, a
pretty cool
bunch
looking
of?
animal.
I'm
Like a
really
bunch of, yeah.
confused.
More to see you with, I reckon. Yeah, there's a lot of
See,
them.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can't eat anything that I've made eye contact with.
Oh, it gets way worse. You have to clean them too, man. It gets way grosser than looking at their eyes.
Oh,
Yeah, because basically on the inside of the shell, they're like almost like a octopus, almost on the inside of the shell. So you clean
oh.
all the guts out of there, and then you're left with the little tasty,
Like
tender,
jiggly
sweet,
parts?
yummy, chewy parts. Yeah, the scallop
Hmm.
itself. Yeah. So,
All right, I'm
but yeah, we've been
totally
doing that
Googling
for about
scallops
five
later.
years. Yeah, it's so
Wow.
much fun too because they're in like 4 to 6 to 7 foot of water, so it's really not that sketch. I mean, you are like 7 miles out, but
So, okay,
it's really
that's
not
where I'm a
that.
little confused. You go 7 miles out and it's only 4 to 6 feet deep
On the the west coast of Florida, and that in the middle, like
in the
the kind of the
Gulf?
center of Florida, the Gulf. Yeah, it's super shallow for miles and miles. Like you can go out for a good
Yeah, you
bit
can
and
walk
it'll
to
be
Jamaica.
close, close, very close. But you can go out. I
That's
I
trippy.
think it's like 10 miles, and it's still only like 7 feet.
Oh,
It's pretty
wow.
crazy. Yeah.
I didn't
So,
realize that.
and the bottom is basically all grass, and sometimes you'll see little fish, and sometimes you'll see reefs with a bunch of fish on them, and you
Hmm.
can go fishing. Yeah.
That's
That's what we
cool.
like to do on our spare time. All the boys basically. We head out.
So, did you guys do a lot of that during the pandemic? I would imagine that's a nice, safe
We did
activity.
actually. There's only
Yeah.
like a certain time of year you can do it, but we did actually last year.
Oh,
We did go, and because all of us basically have been working together the whole time and trying to keep we try to keep it as safe as possible. But I mean, trying to do the best we can do to keep things rolling while keeping
sure.
everybody safe.
When did you
So
guys start the band?
1996.
Wow. 25 years
Yeah,
ago.
it was a long time ago. So
So,
yes,
you
I'm
were in
definitely not.
preschool.
So I'm not 22. That is for sure.
Damn, we just blew that. Sorry.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
how did that all come about?
Well, Scar and I were playing in high school band together,
Uh-huh.
and we just started playing during lunch together. And then we got a bass player, and we started playing more. And before you know it, we were doing shows here and there. And then, a couple years later, we're opening for bands. And then a couple years later, you know, we got lucky enough to bump into Pepper, and
Mm,
they
great
linked
guys.
us up with a lot of records. And we've been, doing just kind of traveling and doing things kind of in our own way, probably the wrong way. You never can tell. I'm sure it can be better, but we do a lot of the touring in the Caribbean. We
Well, that
do a
doesn't
lot of
suck.
touring in Florida, of course, when we're not going across the country. So,
Sure.
I mean, it's really crazy how it all turned out because we really started playing music in a lunchroom at a high school in a small, small town. You know what I mean?
Wow.
So,
That's really cool. A great success story.
if I could
And
just
have,
remember how we named the damn band.
yeah.
God.
I won't give you a hard time about that anymore, but I do think you need to just make up a story because there really should be something connected to that. Like someone suggested superheroes, and you're like, no, that doesn't make any sense. How about supervillains? I don't know. There's got to be something.
I think you might be onto something. That's probably how it happened, but
Yeah,
maybe
sounds about right.
I don't think Google was a thing then, so we couldn't like Google to see if there was a band.
No,
But
25 years ago, Google was definitely not a thing.
yeah,
Be
that damn
nice if it
Superhero
hindsight.
was.
wouldn't have been as cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What was
I
that,
don't know.
Jarrett? Jarrett.
Superheroes just wouldn't have been as cool. I think you
No.
guys nailed it on the supervillains. I gotta ask, you guys have some awesome album names. I've always wondered, what's the process like? Do you guys know what you're gonna call an album before you're going into it? Do you wait until it's done being recorded and pick the name for it? What's the process behind that?
Well, the Nice Things record, I think we named just because there was a song on there called Nice Things, maybe. I don't see again, man. You guys got these questions. I just don't have the answers to.
Just make
There's,
something up. We won't know the difference.
I mean, like the Jamaica album, we named Jamaica because there's a building in Melbourne that just has on the side of it just a Jamaica. And we're like, all right. So we took a picture of that. And,
Okay.
of course, we talked to the owners and stuff. So we called that Jamaica. We had the Grow Your Own album with the one of my high school buddies. He was one of the football players. He was like 405. No, that was massive. The 400, 500 pound guy just
Wow.
giving us the big muscles. Yeah, man. It's just, I guess, how it goes. Yeah, just while you're working on these things, you come up with something to call the project, I guess, at the end of the day, and then you
Mm-hmm.
extrapolate as you go, I guess,
What's the creative process like with you guys? Like, do you all sort of pitch in together, or is it usually sort of spearheaded by one or the other, or how does that work?
Well, over the course of the 25 years, things have definitely been different.
Mm-hmm.
When we first started, it was us sitting together, rocking just noise together, and then finally honing that to something. And before you know it, Scart would have some lyrics, and then eventually I started singing some of the songs, and then I started singing more of the songs, and before you know it, I was writing half the songs. So
Mm.
basically, Scart will do his songs. He'll write a skeleton to his songs, and I'll come and follow up with him. And the bass player, now we have BJ. The bass player definitely hops in. He writes his
Mm-hmm.
parts. My songs, basically, I will just write everything. I'll write and perform everything on a scratch, and then
Mm-hmm.
give it to the guys, and they'll take it and they'll write what they wanted to write for the part that I wrote, basically. And then we'll all get back together and we'll work on it together and we'll see how it works. But we are crazy about pre-production. We love to do, our own pre-pro. We love to record our own music and then work on it together with the guys, especially just with the way the technology is these days. I mean, if we could have been doing this 25 years ago, life would have been much more simple. You know what I mean?
Right, right.
Because back in those days, you couldn't just be like, here's 5 tracks. Go ahead and put your 6th track on top of that. You know what I mean? Like,
Right,
that would be
right.
terrific. You could do it from your phone these days. You could never do it like that. You have to go pay some guy to be creepy and stare at you funny.
Creepy. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, which is how do you sing and play the drums at the same time?
That's the elephant in the room. I thought it was
That
the
is.
the buffalo remark. Okay.
No, that was a good one. We like that.
Okay, good. Good.
That's
I tell people
difficult.
all the time that I just don't think about it. I really don't. I just do it.
Huh.
It's hard to describe, but I mean, every time I'm like, all right, here comes this part. I'm going to nail it. I'll mess it up. I just got to go up there and just rock and have a good time and feel it. And it comes
Mm.
out. It's just something I can't really explain, but I just, you know, and to me, I don't know what everybody's talking about. There are far better people than me doing this because there are very great singing drummers out there. I can't name any names, of course, because, I don't
Phil
remember stuff,
Collins.
but,
Phil Collins is a good
yeah,
example.
see,
I
there you go.
think it's a challenging thing to do, and you do a really great job at it. So yeah, I remember being very impressed by that.
I think it just comes back to that ADD thing, where I just got to be,
Mm.
look at the bucket. I guess I got to keep my mind busy, something.
That makes sense. So what are some of the challenges of being a career musician, in your opinion?
Paying the bills, things like that. No,
Yeah.
I mean that's the real thing. That's really the end of it. Having to make decisions based on the fact that you need to be paid kind of sucks.
Right.
I hate that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, Trying to stay relevant and trying to keep up with everything and trying not to get frustrated with the fact that you hate all the changes and
Right.
like I was thinking about that the other day when we were out there fishing. Is like I'm just so tired of having to document my life. It's just so
Mm.
stupid. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like when you have fans in the front row holding up their stupid phones and people behind them can't see, like, God, I hate that. Like, stop
Yeah.
documenting everything. Like, put your phone away and see it for real. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah. It would kind of be
it's
nice if
just
everybody had to check their phones at the door.
seriously. I mean, you know what? Like, I'm not like a total dick. Like, I get it. You're there, you paid your money, you want to take some photos. Like, I'm cool with that. But like after the second or third song, put that shit away, man. You don't need it anymore. Like,
Just be in
what's
the
the point?
moment.
And further, you're not going to look at the videos again. You might look at them once, but what are you going to do with them for real? You're just going to delete them one day because, at the end of the day, it's just how things go.
Yeah.
I'm guilty of doing the same thing. I take pictures of things that I don't care about anymore.
Right.
So that really to me is the toughest thing, is just that you have to go through so many emotions these days to just play in a freaking band, and it's stupid.
Yeah.
I just want to play music and entertain people and have a good time, and
It's not always that
I'm
simple.
it's really not. You got to do a lot more these days than just think about good music. Maybe
Yeah.
that's why there's so much shit that is out.
It's very
Who knows?
possible. Yeah, it's tough when it becomes a business, because you obviously you're all very creative and artistic, and then you got to find a way to monetize that if you want to be able to continue producing your music, because clearly you have bills to pay and that kind of thing. And I would imagine that gets pretty challenging.
Right. Absolutely.
Is it,
And that's
is it,
like I said. Go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, how hard is it having so many guys in the band that, trying to keep everybody happy and, make the decisions together and all that?
Well, it's pretty easy with my guys, more than it is with other people that I see, if that's fair to
Good.
say.
Sure.
Um, I see bands that throw all their business out there, and I see bands that get frustrated and they let people see that,
Mm,
I don't think that's great. I think you got to keep that to the
yeah.
back room, and I think you guys need to hash that out. And I've been lucky with my guys. I'm not saying we're perfect, and I'm not saying no one's ever been drunk and made a fool of themselves, but I mean, I've been lucky with my guys because everybody's pretty level-headed, and Scar's been my best friend since I can remember, and we don't always agree with everything all the time. Matter of fact, a lot of times we don't agree on things, but at the end of the day, we bounce things back and forth until they work. You know what I mean? And,
Yeah.
we're not
That's good.
millionaires or anything, but we're still doing what we love to do, and we're still squeezing it by. So
And that's
I'm
impressive in
happy.
this state.
That's really all
Yeah.
it's about, really, at the end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, so many of us spend our days doing things that we don't want to be doing. And I mean, obviously there's a lot of that in what you do too, but to be able to, make a living doing your art, I think is really impressive.
It takes a lot of work, and it takes a lot of dedication, and it takes a lot of being able to skip a paycheck here and there. You know what I mean? And
Right.
it being okay and not getting discouraged. Because that'll happen too.
Right.
Sometimes it's discouraging when you're pinching pennies and trying to make things work when you work hard all the
Sure.
time. You know what I mean? It's tough.
Yeah.
So,
And most people I think just see they see the shows, they see the fun, they see the party, and they don't necessarily always see the work behind it and the sacrifice behind it.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that all the stuff happens. I mean, there's so much to it. I think about it all the time. I mean, there's merchandising, all your tunes and on the online and your social
Yeah.
media. There is just so much to it, and just because I work from home doesn't mean that I'm not busting my butt, day in and day
Right.
out.
For sure. So who are some of your influences?
Well, it's crazy. I got to meet most of my influences. It's really
Nice.
wild. I've been so lucky. Like, that's one thing I'll always say is that this whole business has been so, like, just awesome and so rewarding, really, at the end of the day. Of course, Brad was huge because I listened to Sublime. I listened to Operation 90, then I listened to
Uh-huh.
Rancid, and then I listened to
Mm-hmm.
Less Than Jake. Before I knew it,
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to all these bands because I had listened to one band. That is
Wow.
very, very incredible. You know what I mean? But from there,
Yeah.
I'm saying, I've been on tour with Less Than Jake at this point. I've met Fat Mike before.
Wow.
I've met all these people that were super influential to my youngster life, and just I've been lucky enough, Dave Wakeman from the English Beat, and
Mm-hmm.
talking to Buck from the Toasters. Love those
Wow.
guys, and I've always looked up to them. But just through our hard work and through everything that we've done, I got to meet them, and super cool to meet your heroes. Always super cool. Especially when they're cool people.
Yeah. Especially
So yeah, I
then.
would say even crazier, like even Real Big Fish was huge when we were starting to play music, and loved to listen to them. I always loved how they put their music together, and how great the hooks were, and how fun just the overall music was. And just another band we got to go on tour with. So it was really crazy. Like, we ended up getting an agent and ended up getting all these shows and all these support slots, all these bands that we looked up to. Super
Are there any
cool. And
bands that you would love to play with that you haven't yet?
I mean, there's always going to be those bands, that's for sure. But I mean, I've been just super blessed with the bands we've got to play with. Man, we got to go on tour with Slightly Stupid for, like, I don't know, for like 8 months at this point in our
Wow.
careers.
Nice.
The Pepper guys, of course. Yasada has been one of my very, very good friends for a very, very long time. He is definitely one of my oldest friends that I still speak to.
He is one of my absolute favorite people.
He's a hammer. The dude's a hammer.
Yes,
He's a cool dude.
he is.
Uh,
Love
we
him.
always
So
have a good
talented.
chat.
Yeah, he's so talented and so humble. And he's such a connector, always thinking of like, oh, hey, this person would enjoy talking with this person, and you should know so and so, and what about this? And he amazes me. He really does.
Yeah, it was the
He's great.
coolest part about being on the record label, with being on Law Records was, they kept setting up tours for us. And, oh, you guys want to go on tour with the Mad Caddies? Oh, no problem. Let me see if I can call their agent. And
Oh,
before I
yes,
know
please.
it, like, that, the trumpet player is playing on our new record. And,
Oh,
like,
wow.
there's just so much cool stuff that happened from that. And I'm always grateful for Law Records, always
Yeah.
grateful for Yasad. And that's just one of those things when you're networking, you're meeting all these people, you never know. You really never know.
Yeah. And he knows everyone. It's like the big joke. It cracks me up every time we'll be talking about something and he'll be like, oh yeah, I know him. I'm like, of course you do. Of course you do. You know everyone. Even the most random people that you would never expect in a completely different industry, totally unrelated to music. And he knows everyone. I think it's cool. Very cool.
And he introduced me to Hawaiian food. I never really had Hawaiian food before I met him, and I like my
Ah,
absolute favorite food. I love to eat, mac salad and spam, mixed plate. I can eat all that stuff like
nice.
5 times a week, and it's his fault. He forced me into it.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
We blame him. Well, thank you again for being on the album. Thank you for coming on the show. Thank you for making such great music. I've raised my kids on it. They're huge fans as well. And I think you guys are doing a great job. So keep up the good work.
Thank you guys, and thank you guys very much for having me, and thanks for all the kind words. And I can't wait for you to see that Sugar Shack when it's playing and what happened. I think you're gonna be stoked on
Yes.
Yeah, I
it.
can't
So
wait to see it.
it's
Yeah,
going
that's
to
going to
be
be good.
awesome.
When is that coming out?
I don't know. It's got to be on the schedule, so I'm guessing eventually, probably within the next month or two, I would imagine, because they've got.
Nice.
I don't know if you checked out the Sugar Shack sessions, but they've got a lot
Oh,
of good stuff
yeah.
going on.
Yeah, they do a great job. Really
Yes,
fun.
absolutely.
Now, Dom, for everybody who's listening, I'm sure you guys are all very familiar with the Supervillains already, but if not, where can they find you? Website, social media, anything that you got going on? Go ahead and plug it now, man.
Thank you. If just go to the supervillains.com or just go into Google and type in the Supervillains band, or our Facebook is Supervillains Florida. Basically just the supervillains.com, and that'll direct you anywhere and everywhere you can get shirts, and all of our discographies on there, the Spotify, everything.
Awesome.
Everywhere.
Awesome. Well,
Right
thank you
on.
again, man. This was awesome.
Well, thank you guys very much, and I'm going to work on that origin story until the next time I see
Thank you. I expect it to be much better next time. Much more
you. Thank
You
interesting.
know, and when you have it together, I want you to give us a message, Kelly or myself. We'll have you back. I want you to break that shit right here on Bradley's house. So, like, this is it. This is how it went down. So for everybody who's been asking, we finally came up. I mean, we remembered what we're gonna
Right.
tell everybody, and this is it. And I'm gonna be like, fucking happened on our show. So
Yeah, we'll break that shit. It's like you find out here first. All the breaking news here
that's right.
first.
Well, we're about to go to Texas for a week, so I'll have plenty of time during the road trips to concoct
Oh,
the most masterful of origin stories.
Oh,
It's
I
gonna
can't
thank
wait.
you.
it's gonna blow
Definitely
your
looking
mind.
forward.
Yes.
Thank you, Dom. It's been great
So
talking
there
with
we
you.
were, Buffalo,
Yeah.
New York, freezing our asses off.
Throwing hot
Someone
water up in
said,
the air, watching the
"I'm
snow.
super." Yeah, we were throwing boiling water.
Inside of my nose was fucking frozen.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm looking
All
forward to
right.
that. Well, I sure hope you guys make it out to California soon. Otherwise, I'm going to have to come out there because it's been a while and I would love to catch another Supervillains show.
I know that if Scarlett was here, he would probably say something like, "I triple dog dare you to come to Florida." So.
Oh, you can't walk away from a triple dog dare.
I
I'm
know,
telling you.
that's
Yeah.
tough. Well, my half brother has been living out in the Tampa area with his wife and their
Oh, nice.
9-month-old baby, and they're out here right now. So I finally got to meet her for the first time. But I told him if they hadn't come out like in the next 90 days, that was it. I was just gonna get on a plane and go. So I'm sure one of these days I'll be out there visiting them, and I'll be sure to look you guys up. But it sure would be nice to have you out here because my kids want to come too. So
Yeah, I think we're going to be working
plans.
our way over there October, November. I think we're going to be working our way at least to Colorado. So if we can if I can talk the guys into it, we'll try to scoot over a couple more
Yeah.
states.
California's not far from Colorado. Just, keep
Hop,
driving.
skip, and a jump.
Yeah, just head to the water.
At that point, yeah, man, it's a pretty easy drive there. Yeah, like
Might as well. Right
where
on.
you
Well,
guys
it's
coming
really
from?
been Colorado.
Yeah,
Really great talking with you. We appreciate you taking the time to talk with us today.
no worries, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll talk to you very soon. I hope.
All righty. Bye-bye.
All right, bye bye.
Well, we had a lot of fun speaking with Dom from the Supervillains. Really fun group. What an awesome guy. That was really a cool chat.
Yeah, he's so much fun to talk with. Great guy. And I love the band. They're just so much energy. And the fact that he sings while playing the drums, that just blows my mind. Very, very talented guys. It was really fun having him on.
Yeah, that's like, the old thing where you have to like do the circle on your stomach while you pat the top of your head, right? Yeah,
It's not as easy as it sounds.
bet you he's fucking so good at that. He was probably he was the king of the schoolyard because of that.
I'm sure of it. Hey, before we finish
Well,
up,
guys, we hope that.
I just want to bring on our producer because Anna and I have something that we'd like to share.
Hi, everybody. It's I was going to say hostess with the mostest, but that's Kelly, producer with the most deucer. Anyway, I'm Anna, and Kelly and I would just like to give a big happy birthday to Jarett. It's going to be in 2 days, and unfortunately, I don't have the sweet band connections to arrange someone to help me dedicate a song, but with the help of Kelly, we did get a very special birthday message for you, Jarett.
We did.
Hi, Jarett. This is Jim Papa Noel. I just wanted to wish you a very happy birthday. I'm really impressed with everything you're doing for us and for the foundation and for keeping the Sublime legacy alive. And I've been listening to all the podcasts, and I'm finding out all these things that these guys did that I didn't even know they did. Okay. Anyhow, thank you very much. Thanks for the podcast. Thanks for all the help, and we're looking forward to the new stuff. Happy birthday.
So happy birthday,
So
Jarett.
happy
I hope you
birthday,
have a
baby.
wonderful day. We're so appreciative of everything you do and for even starting this podcast, because if it weren't for you and Anna, of course, this thing wouldn't even exist. So thank you and happy birthday, Jarett.
And a happy belated birthday to Kelly
Thank
by
you.
the time this drops.
Wow, you guys are too much. Thank you so much. And as I've said, it's been an honor and a ton of fun to be able to do this with you guys. And I'm super appreciative of you. You guys, I get to just kind of hang out and tell dick jokes. And Kelly's booking guests and taking emails, and Anna's doing all of the work behind the scenes. So. Thank you to both of you guys as well. And obviously a huge thank you to your dad for taking time out for that message. That was absolutely awesome. So thank you very much, ladies.
You're welcome.
Love
So
you
what are we
much.
ending the show with tonight?
Well, I think it would only make sense. Kelly, I told you before we started recording this song, every time I hear it, it reminds me of the taste of blue Gatorade and regret, because that's what I've had a few of these nights in my younger days. We all have. I'm happy that we've all moved on from it. But it would be crazy not to end out this show with From the House That Bradley Built. Kelly, where can people pick up that album?
You can grab that at law-records.com. They've got all the House That Bradley Built stuff there.
Absolutely. So from the Supervillains, off the House That Bradley Built compilation, this is What Happened.
The evil things I've done, it feels like I must have some fun. What happened? Last thing I remember, I was chilling at a party, pitching girlies' asses. I was drinking recklessly. I know I did something, boy, what could it be? I woke up in the morning and all my friends hate me. What happened? What is this shit on my face? My God, what is that awful smell? She may be an angel. She may be a queen. She might be black, white, American, Indian, or Japanese. What happened? Threw a bottle at the bouncer, didn't think that he was cool. Pissed at someone's drink and threw a bike into a pool. Driving down the sidewalk like a drunken possessed fool. I broke every single traffic rule. What happened? What happened?